Sago, Scano, Saguli. My name's Amber Hill and I'm an RDCE, Early Learning Facilitator here at Family Gatherings. So today we're going to do a scone demo, or AKA oven bread, or AKA buttermilk biscuits. So things that you're going to need to make this is buttermilk. I use buttermilk, you could use milk if you like. Flour, baking powder, salt. You'll need a 1 cup measuring cup, a teaspoon, a half a teaspoon, and a 1/4 cup. So, and we're gonna need some margarine. I almost forgot the margarine. So the first thing I like to do is grease my baking sheet. So I just have it ready to go once my scones are all made and cut. I'm just gonna take a paper towel, do that real quick. And I've already preheated my oven to 375. So we're already warmed up and ready to go. So, and I usually wear gloves with mine because sometimes it gets a little messy, and plus I'm cooking for other people, so I usually wear gloves. But when I'm at home, if it's for me, I don't need to. So we're just gonna make kind of a small batch today. So I'm going to be using 5 cups of flour. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So my little trick is I add 1 teaspoon of baking powder per cup of flour. And it could be a little heaping, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And because I like mine fluffy, sometimes I'll add 1 to 2 more. So that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to put in 7 teaspoons altogether per this 5 cups of flour. We have our baking powder in. Next, we're going to add half a teaspoon of salt. And I like to use a wooden spoon. I have my wooden spoon. So I'm just gonna stir that up really good. This is all our dry ingredients. Okay. And then I like to add butter or margarine in mine. So I'm going to be using a 1/4 cup of this basil. Give or take here. So I'm just gonna smooth that over with my finger. Put the excess back, and we're gonna scoop that right into our flour, as you can see. So then I'm just gonna take my hands, and what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna work that margarine into the flour. So we're gonna work it up really good till we kind of get like these little, you'll see like kind of little balls of butter, like little beads kind of they look like. So if you can see, we're just working that in. We're mixing that up really good. Get all that worked in nicely. And rotate your bowl if you want, kind of helps. Make sure you're getting everything evened out. Okay, so now we're ready for the buttermilk. So I like to make myself a little well. So I make a well in the middle of my flour. And then we'll take our buttermilk. This is the tricky part. I usually find that at least 1 liter of buttermilk will do about 5 to 6 cups of flour, because I don't have a measurement for buttermilk. I was not taught to cook that way. So I'm just gonna pour it in till I fill up my well. So once my well's filled up, then I'm gonna take my wooden spoon and I'm just gonna stir. And I'm gonna rotate my bowl while I stir. And then it's gonna kind of let me know if I'm gonna need more, which I'm going to. Because my dough is not at the consistency that I need it to be yet. So I'm gonna make just another little well here and I'm gonna add some more buttermilk. And we'll fill that up and we'll do some more stirring. Again, I rotate my bowl. This kind of helps to get everything nice and even. So it's getting a little bit harder. So yeah, it's probably gonna take this whole thing of buttermilk. So add it a little bit more. And so we're getting to a better consistency here. And we might need a little bit more. So this is kind of what we're working with. So I'm gonna add just a little bit more. We probably won't need much more. And we're gonna stir that again. So it didn't quite take the whole jug. There's about this much left in there. And that was for 5 cups of flour. Okay. So now the trick is we don't want to play with our dough too much. So we're going to sprinkle down some flour on our counter. Spread that out a little bit here. And I like to sprinkle a little bit of flour just on top because it's gonna get sticky and I'll just put it on my hands. So I'm going to just kind of roll that out onto the counter. I'm gonna go over here so you can see. And then, so I like to put some flour there. I'll put a little bit on top again. And then we're just gonna fold it over a few quick times. And we just wanna work it a little bit. See, it's getting sticky, so sprinkle some more flour on there. And then we're just going to even it out. I'll keep it kind of round, but even it out a bit. And we don't want to make it too thin, too flat, because you want your biscuits to be able to rise. So there's probably about 1/4 inch. So then I'll take my cup, and this is what I use as a cutter. You can use different things at home, but I like it because it kind of has the sharp end. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of flour on there. And I wanna get as close to the edge of my dough as I can so we're not wasting so much. And then we're just gonna go around and we're gonna cut. And you might need to keep adding flour because this is what's gonna help it not stick to your cutter. So we're probably gonna be able to get a little bit more with the excess, but for now, I'll put these ones on the pan. And you can put them close together if you like on your pan, or you can have them apart, it's up to you. I like to do mine close. These are gonna be so delicious. Perfect time to be making oven bread, especially with fall coming up, cooler weather. Make a nice hot pot of soup. And have some bread to go with it. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my excess dough And I'm just gonna put that all together again because we can still get a few more scones out of there. So we'll just work that again a little bit. And we'll flatten that out. And we should be able to get a few more. At least 3. There we go. Okay. So now our next step is, I usually grab a little bit of butter here. And then we want to put a little dab of butter on top of each of our scones. And this is what's gonna help brown them on top. Now you're gonna throw these in the oven at 375 is what I preheated my oven for. And you want them to at least be in the oven for, depending on your oven, all ovens are different, so it could be anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes. So what I do is I just keep checking. I'll start to smell them, and when they're brown on top, another little trick is you could stick like a toothpick in the middle if you're not sure. If your toothpick comes out clean, then you know your bread's done. Okay. All right. So we'll pop those in the oven. And then in the meantime, we can do our cleanup. So I usually just gather all my flour and excess stuff, put it back in my bowl. And this is why I like to use a wooden spoon, and then you can scrape the sides really good and it saves on, makes it for easier cleaning. And so we'll see you in a few minutes when the scones are done. So we have left now our bread in the oven for, I put it in at 11:58 and I just took it out at 10:58. Took it out at 11:17. So it was in there for give or take 20 minutes. So this is the end result. So now we're gonna test one. I'm gonna cut this bad boy open. And I'll put some butter on there. The bottom's nice and brown and crispy. And I have some taste testers over here if you want to come try. And there you go. There's your oven bread. If you want the recipe, we're going to post the recipe online with the video as well. Have a good day.